All right.
Perfect.
You
All
want
right.
to get us going, guys?
Yep. All right. Good morning, everyone. We're excited to represent Toyota in the U.S. auto manufacturing industry. Let's go places from Boulder to the boardroom.
Well,
Let's meet the team. I'm Andrew Sawyer.
I'm Mikey Austin.
I'm Jonah Potts.
I'm Fabian Rojas.
I am Charlie Bruss.
I'll be going over the general overview of the industry. This industry designs and builds full automobiles, including the body and the chassis. Basically everything from the frame to the finished car. Companies handle every stage, from designing and sourcing materials to assembly, quality control, and distribution to dealerships. In 2024, Americans spent around $391 billion on new motor vehicles. So far in 2025, the spending is trending even higher at about $418 billion projected for this year. Despite that huge numbers, margins are very tight, only 3 to 5%, because producing cars require massive plants, equipment, and supply chains. Yeah, next slide. After the 2020 slump, auto sales rebounded strongly to about 16 million vehicles per year. Americans keep favoriting bigger cars such as SUVs and pickup trucks, now dominate total sales. S&P Global says hybrids are now the fastest growing segment. However, EV adoption still varies depending on the prices and if there's charging available near you. Since 2022, chip shortages and shipping issues have most likely stabilized, allowing smoother production. Overall, the forecast is a steady growth, no big spikes, but solid to mid-teen sales levels each year. Transportation creates the most greenhouse gas emissions in any U.S. sector. Automakers are responding with fuel-efficient engines, hybrids, and EVs, joint charging networks investments. Companies now audit and trace where battery materials come from and invest in large-scale recycling. More vehicles can now be updated over the air, which helps fix recalls faster and keep cars safer. Trading policies, oh, sorry. Trading policies and tariffs continue to affect material costs and where manufacturers source their parts. Let me go to the next one. The top three automakers by US sales are GM, Toyota, and Ford, with Toyota continuing to grow its share. It's huge ecosystem with the profits, it's huge ecosystems within profits. So companies share platforms and scale products to stay efficient. Vehicles demand still depends heavily on consumer prices and interest rates changes. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, about 1 million people are employed in vehicle and part manufacturing. Auto Alley, um, for the geography, Auto Alley, they use the sorry. For geography, they usually use uh, the Auto Alley in the US. Auto Alley refers to manufacturing corridor from Michigan through the south to Texas, where most US plants and suppliers are clustered. And that's it.
All right, we are here representing Toyota. We have our headquarters is in Plano, Texas, and we have other major manufacturing plants in Kentucky, Alabama, California, and Indiana. Toyota's main contribution to the automotive parts manufacturing industry is our just-in-time philosophy. This philosophy is designed so that we only make what is needed when it is needed and at the amount that is needed. This makes sure that our auto parts are made at that our auto parts are made at pace at which they are sold. This system focuses on the elimination of waste, such as unnecessary costs, inventory, and wasted time during production.
Oh,
Yep. Toyota's vision is to create mobility for all. We live in a diverse world today, and Toyota is dedicated to increasing the quality of mobility for everybody. This creates new possibilities for mankind while still being environmentally friendly. When it comes to the employees, Toyota has five principles. Always be faithful to your duties. Always be willing to learn and be creative. Always be practical during your work. Build a home-like atmosphere that you are comfortable working in, and be grateful at all times. And some key statistics about Toyota. We have 2,667 patents, which is the most of any automotive manufacturer in the US. And we employ 64,000 people in North America alone.
All right, so as recruiters, three specific degree paths you could take are finance or accounting, which are very similar. And when you're working for Toyota, you would mainly be tracking and managing Toyota's financial information, as well as managing our money, our investments, and financial strategy. If Go back, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
If you worked in supply chain management, you would be ensuring that production and delivery process run smoothly and efficiently. And in business analytics, you would mainly use data to guide decision making and improve our performance. Now, an in-depth analysis of finance and accounting. Some common positions here are asset management accountants, operations accounting, and financial reporting accounting. Financial forecasting, plant controller, cost management are popular financial positions. Plant controller, you're mainly controlling the movement of money, forecasting. You're trying to create an outlook on money coming in and going out. Where do we need to allocate our funds? And accountants are getting our financial analysts those types of information. As lead students, we're looking for a bachelor's in science, mainly finance or accounting. For higher level and senior positions, an MBA in finance or accounting will be helpful. A CPA, which is certified accountant, public accountant, sorry. A CMA, which is certified managerial accountant, or a CFA, which is certified financial analyst. Those are all things we look for to make the next step up in our company. We look for employees who are conscientious, analytical, and communicative, especially when you're working with each other. Accountants and financial analysts work with each other a lot. So you need to be good with numbers and you need to be good at communicating. Specific software is important to use. GAAP, which is generally accepted accounting principles, is important to know, especially as an accountant. Financial modeling and analysis skills are also important. And you'll normally enter at around a $55,000 to $60,000 salary. Now, if we look at supply chain management, supply chain manager, a logistics distribution manager, and production control are very common positions you could see yourself in. It's the same, a bachelor's of science or in leads and emphasis in supply chain management. To get those higher positions, an MBA in supply chain management or global supply chains is important. A CSCP, which is a certified supply chain professional, or a CPSM, which is a or CPIM, certified in planning and inventory management. Communication is also very important in this role. Leadership, you're going to be working with a lot of people to allocate resources effectively. You also need to be good at negotiation, especially the contracts with producers and our suppliers. Software, data analysis, you're going to be looking and analyzing a lot of different inputs and outputs. And then starting salary, normally 58 to 63,000, that sort of range. Finally, business analytics. So a business operations analyst, business intelligence analyst, or business processing analyst. Very common at Toyota. Again, emphasis in business analytics. Common one here at Leeds. An MBA or a master's in science in business analytics or business intelligence will help you get those senior positions, or a certified business analytics professional. We're looking for people who are analytical, patient. There's a lot of trial and error that goes into this. collaborative. Same with many of these positions. You're going to be needing to work with other people or in teams. Modeling especially, looking at trends, so we can make informed decisions. And this is a little bit on the higher end of our positions to start at $60,000 to $65,000.
When it comes to DEI, Toyota constantly ranks amongst the top companies in the US at actually number 4 to be exact, as they were ranked on Fair 360's 2024 diversity list. Toyota has been recognized for its Black, LGBTQ, Asian, and Latino leadership, people in positions of leadership. Also, Toyota annually invest $1 billion with minority and women-owned suppliers, as well as a strong representation of underrepresented groups. Toyota itself ran some DEI training and resource groups. The comprehensive and DEI learning programs that are in place, Toyota, since as soon as you get into the company, there are many journeys, people that come in and lack some of the tools. Toyota helps them develop them, teach them. There's a lot of focus on inclusive and leadership culture, so a lot of like seminars and leadership programs. Of course, there are 116 ERG chapters, which stands for Employee Resource Groups, with over 9,000 members just in the US. And well, ERGs drive growth and networking. The policy and in the community and in Toyota, uh, DEI is built into it, as well as a guide by respect and need for improvement. There is also a zero tolerance discrimination policy in the office, as well as flexible, inclusive work-life support system. And Toyota annually allocates $8 million for STEM equity-focused philanthropy. So people and small companies that work in STEM can get grants from Toyota.
All right. And of course, there are many advantages and of course, unfortunately, a few disadvantages to a career in the automotive industry. Primarily, there's a large abundance and variety of careers. You can do all sorts of different things while staying in the automotive industry, and there's a ton of different companies. There's always going to be automotives, cars that need to be produced, and you're going to be able to stay at a company for a long time, get comfortable at a company and stay with them and evolve. And that kind of takes us into our next point, is that it's constantly evolving. You're always going to be getting to work with new technology. 20 years later, you won't necessarily know what you're doing, which for a lot of people, that's a huge plus. And primarily get to work with cars, which if you're anything like me, that'll be a huge benefit, and that alone will be very exciting for you. And of course, there are a few disadvantages too. Um, the automotive industry is very sensitive to disruptions in the supply chain, and these can cause Toyota's, for example, sensitive just-in-time manufacturing to kind of collapse, and this can create all sorts of headaches. You're negotiating with people, you're trying to settle conflicts, and also it's linked with GDP. So when the economy is doing bad, you're going to be at a higher risk of losing your job compared to some other careers. And generally, the industry is going to be very responsive to the economy, which is not a great thing sometimes. And of course, finally, it's regulated pretty heavily, which means that, overnight there can be some pretty massive regulation, which can shift up your job and what you do. Now, here's our call to action. And really, that's just to seek out a career in the automotive industry. If you love cars, if you want to work around cars, if you want to be on the cutting edge and be exposed to new technology and work in a fast-paced environment, the automotive industry might be perfect for you. And so, in conclusion, there's a ton of great options for Leeds business students in the automotive industry, whether that's finance, whether that's supply chain. There's all sorts of different things to do in the automotive industry. It's a very fast-paced industry, and Toyota is kind of one of the biggest movers and shakers in America. regarding the automotive industry. So, yeah. All right. Okay.
Good. All right, perfect.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out now how to stop recording. This might take me a second.